In recent years, the rapid growth of the tech industry has brought about unprecedented advancements and innovations in various fields. However, despite the promising outlook of the sector, the recent trend of tech companies laying off workers has become a cause for concern. With the ongoing pandemic and the ever-evolving nature of technology, companies are forced to make tough decisions to remain competitive and financially stable. Unfortunately, these decisions often result in the loss of jobs, leaving many employees without a source of income and facing an uncertain future. For today's video, let's talk about why tech companies are laying off workers and how it deeply affected employees. Let's get started. Tech companies are laying off workers, and it's causing quite a stir in the industry. But why is this happening? Why are companies that were once seen as bastions of job security suddenly letting go of their workforce? Let's take a closer look. Firstly, it's important to acknowledge that the pandemic has hit many industries hard, and the tech industry is no exception. With supply chain disruptions and a global economic slowdown, tech companies have had to cut costs and adapt to the new normal. This has resulted in layoffs as companies try to balance their books and stay afloat. But it's not just the pandemic that's to blame. The fast-paced nature of the tech industry means that companies need to constantly innovate and stay ahead of the curve to remain competitive. This often means that companies need to pivot quickly, investing in new technologies and abandoning old ones. In such a scenario, some jobs become redundant, and companies need to let go of employees who are no longer needed. Moreover, the tech industry is notorious for its high employee turnover rate. Employees are constantly on the lookout for new challenges and opportunities, and companies are always on the hunt for fresh talent. This means that companies need to be agile and adapt to the changing needs of their employees. If a company is unable to keep its employees engaged, it risks losing them to its competitors. To prevent this, some companies choose to let go of employees who are not a good fit or who are not contributing to the company's growth. Another reason why tech companies are laying off workers is the increasing use of automation and artificial intelligence. Automation is changing the nature of work, and many tasks that were once done by humans are now being done by machines. This means that companies can do more with fewer employees, and they are increasingly turning to automation to cut costs and increase efficiency. So, what does all this mean for the employees who are being laid off? It's a tough pill to swallow, for sure. Losing a job is never easy, and it can be especially difficult in the tech industry, where employees often have highly specialized skills. Just like what happened to Twitter when the company cut more engineers and employees.
Bloomberg's Kurt Wagner here in San Francisco joins us for more. Not that surprised, really, are you?
No, unfortunately not, right? I mean, we've seen a slow trickle now for a while, but this one felt more significant, right? It did happen, unfortunately, on a Saturday night, right? So a lot of employees are enjoying their weekend, and as you pointed out, some got emails saying, hey, you know, your job has been terminated. Others are simply trying to get into the system, can't, and they kind of deduced from that. So not great, but to your point, not surprising when we know how much they're trying to cut costs over there.
In early February 2022, Twitter announced that it was laying off more than 300 engineers and other employees. This news was not entirely surprising, as the company had been struggling with declining user growth and revenue. However, the scale of the layoffs was significant, and it sparked concerns about the company's future. Twitter is no stranger to layoffs. The company has gone through multiple rounds of job cuts in recent years, as it has struggled to find a sustainable business model. In 2015, Twitter laid off 8% of its workforce, which amounted to around 336 employees. In 2016, the company cut another 9% of its workforce, which was approximately 350 employees. These layoffs were attributed to slowing user growth and the company's inability to monetize its platform effectively. The latest round of layoffs at Twitter is part of a broader restructuring plan that the company has been implementing to cut costs and refocus its efforts. In a statement, Twitter's CEO, Jack Dorsey, said that the company was making some hard but necessary decisions to position itself for long-term growth. The layoffs were primarily focused on the company's engineering and product teams, which are responsible for developing and improving Twitter's platform. One high-profile employee who was affected by the layoffs was Esther Crawford, who was the director of product at Twitter.
The company had been trying not to lay those folks off. The thinking was that, they might have bigger stock award grants, for example, having sold the company to Twitter. They didn't want to expedite that type of thing. But in this case, several of those founders were laid off, including Esther Crawford,
right,
who, sort of became a little bit famous, if you will, as someone who was sleeping in the office early on in Twitter's
That's
Twitter
the bit I
2.0.
don't get. I was going to ask specifically about Esther Crawford. She was one of these people, as you and I reported at the time, that kind of aligned herself pretty quickly with Elon Musk,
right,
publicly tweeting about the things that Elon Musk was wanting staff to do. She's gone.
She's gone.
What do we know about that? I mean, she was pro-Musk.
Crawford was a well-known and respected figure in the tech industry, and her departure was seen as a significant loss for Twitter. Crawford had been with the company for 3 years and was responsible for leading several high-profile projects, including Twitter's audio features, such as Spaces. Her departure was particularly noteworthy because she had been a vocal advocate for diversity and inclusion in the tech industry. Crawford's departure raised concerns about Twitter's commitment to diversity and whether the company was prioritizing cost-cutting over its values. In a tweet following her departure, Crawford said that she was incredibly grateful for the opportunity to work with the amazing team at Twitter and that she was excited to see what's next. She also thanked her colleagues and supporters for their encouragement and support. The layoffs at Twitter are a reminder of the challenges that many tech companies face in the current business environment. While the tech industry has been a major driver of economic growth and innovation, it is also a highly competitive and rapidly evolving sector. Companies need to constantly adapt and innovate to stay ahead of the curve, which can be a daunting task. Moreover, the tech industry is also facing increasing scrutiny and criticism over issues such as privacy, data security, and social responsibility. Twitter, like many other tech companies, has been criticized for its handling of sensitive user data and its role in promoting misinformation and hate speech. These issues have added to the pressure that companies like Twitter face to improve their products and services while also staying true to their values. Facing a layoff can be a stressful and difficult experience for many employees. However, there are things that individuals can do to mitigate the impact of a layoff and move forward with their careers. One of the most important things that employees can do is to maintain a positive attitude and keep their self-esteem intact. Losing a job can be a challenging experience, but it's important to remember that it's not a reflection of an individual's worth as a person. Rather, it's a reflection of the current business environment and the challenges that companies face. Many successful people have experienced a layoff at some point in their careers, and it's often an opportunity for growth and new opportunities. Therefore, it's important to keep a positive outlook and remain confident in your abilities. Another important step is to assess your skills and experience and evaluate your options. This can involve exploring other industries or roles that could benefit from your skills, or identifying opportunities to retrain or upskill. It's important to keep an open mind and be willing to consider new opportunities. For example, someone who has been laid off from a tech company could explore opportunities in other industries, such as healthcare or finance, that require similar technical skills. Alternatively, they could look for opportunities to learn new skills or certifications that would make them more competitive in the job market. What do you think about this topic? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next video.